What's good, YouTube? Freaks and Geeks, aka NoahC, back at it again today for another video for y'all. And today we're going to be talking about the Orochi. Now, to me, the Orochi has always been a class, more or less, that's always been unbalanced. He's been unbalanced in a bad way ever since the start of the game. And reason being is just the fact that his toolkit is so limited, but at the same time it's effective. A lot of Orochi mains that I've argued with constantly will swear up and down that Orochi is just one of those characters that's just, he's really bad. You know, there's really nothing going for him besides lights and his zone attack, and honestly that's all you need, especially on console. There's absolutely no reason why light and a fast zone attack will not give you the win majority of the time. Now granted, does that make him very telegraphed? Yes, but at the same time he still has to worry about the fact that, well, he doesn't really have to worry about the fact that him getting parried because of the fact that his lights are so fast and how we're on 30 frames per second. Old Orochi was definitely more telegraphed than the new one, but old Orochi got 32 damage off of a top light, which again was fast, and on top of it being a top light, not a heavy, it was something that people could spam constantly and still be in a fight. 32 damage off of a light attack is not fair. Now, one person tried to compare Orochi's top light to Nobushi's old damage with her hidden stance, and I tried to let him know there is no comparison. There's no comparison in the fact that, one, Orochi's top light has a really good tracking. On top of it having really good tracking, it still has really good tracking, but having really good tracking, it had damage. And the fact that it took little to no stamina to use off of it being a one-directional attack, again, always made it to where you had to really respect Orochi top, or you're going to get hit for that. Same thing with the zone attack. Zone attack was, I think, 500 milliseconds, something like that. And because it was so fast back then, especially when they took time snap out of the game, it made Orochi a character that was just nothing but spam. There was nothing more that Orochi could do besides top light and zone. But the correlation between those two and having to be able to react to such fast attacks always puts somebody in disarray. And don't get me started on an Orochi that doesn't want to throw an attack on you. I'm a Nobushi main, and Orochi counters Nobushi, so of course I will have some type of hate for this character, in the sense that, you know, I feel like he's always just been unbalanced. But even when I play other characters that wasn't a warden or wasn't a lawbringer or something like that, and even then when I was playing lawbringer against Orochi, if an Orochi decides not to throw out an attack and an Orochi can react to everything a lawbringer does, which everybody can, then it's not really a counter. In order for a lawbringer to counter an Orochi, again, you would have to be able to actually block and shove accordingly. And not to mention the fact that, again, if Orochi guesses right, he gets a deflect off of dashing. So a lot of baits and a lot of opportunities are needed, and some opportunities are missed because of the fact that you want to bait out things. So Orochi has just always been a mind game character because of how limited he is. And back then, you know, top lights and zones was a 50-50 for him. Now we have the new Orochi, who again on console is a little bit, I'm not going to say he's a problem, I'm just going to say he's very annoying, to the point that a lot of people don't really want to, deal with him, and people don't want to, you know, play with him because of the rework that he got. Wasn't necessarily the best rework in my opinion. Again, they basically made him a, I'm not going to say a stronger PK, but they made him a more fluid PK. He has a lot of things going for him now, where he back steps and he gets a light attack, but that is actually one of the weakness of an Orochi, is his I think it's when he steps back and he does the R1. I'm not sure what attack it is. You guys will have to let me know in the comment section below. And the fact that they changed up his Storm Rush for it to not give a confirmed top light anymore also weakens Orochi in the sense to where you have an opportunity to actually block after you get hit with a Storm Rush. And the fact that they made it omnidirectional was a good buff, and they actually made it to where it's you know, you won't parry it off unless you really just know. And the only time you'll probably parry it if it's a top one, because the top heavy, or the top heavy off of a Storm Rush is slower than the sides. So now I want to ask you guys in the comment section below your opinions on the Orochi rework as far as console goes. Do you think that this was deserved? Do you think that this was needed? I know a lot of Orochi fans are already going to say, of course it was needed. There's no reason why it shouldn't have been needed. But I feel like that's a little bit biased. Again, to the characters that actually could stop him, meaning that characters that actually knew where his attacks were coming from and where you could actually react to something. The people that knew how to play Orochi always made Orochi shine, always made Orochi annoying. And that's why I say it took a certain amount of skill to really make him a character that wasn't just, not bad, but just a character that wasn't just god awful. I think they made Orochi a little bit too noob friendly now, because now again he's a different version of an assassin that just has an attack that pretty much has attacks that pretty much either beat out your guard or just beat out the fact that you're just trying to block and you just weren't fast enough at that point. You know, I know there's sometimes where people actually miss, you know, light parries because they thought, okay, well, it came out a little bit slower and it gets sped up now. Again, we're on console and the frame rates and everything like that don't necessarily aren't always the same. That's why, to me, as a person who played this class for a little bit just to kind of see how he was, because I always used to dabble with Orochi to see how he really is, and I always thought he was too much. A lot of people again would say he's not too much because of the fact that he's a character that only has a few moves. Did he need an unblockable off of a certain type of chain? If Orochi had an unblockable off of a chain, Orochi would probably be, he'd probably be Mind Game City. The only reason that PK isn't as terrible as she is now is because of her damage. If PK had a certain type of unblockable off of a chain, she would be just as bad. Especially if there was an easier way to get to it. Imagine, you know, your Berserker mains having to move when an Orochi does an unblockable top heavy or unblockable top, you know, like these things will bait out so many reactions and so many things. So many people will get flustered at the fact that you have to do something. Shaman, in the sense that she only can make her blockable come out on one side, and the distinct animation for it isn't bad. Most shamans don't even let the heavy go, or the unblockable heavy go, because of the fact that it is slow. It is really slow. It's misleading, but at the same time, if you have a character really that has a dodge attack out of that, you can really beat that. But if they cancel it, then you get parried. But again, with Orochi's just in a place right now where in 1v1s he really does shine. In 4v4s he doesn't at all. He can be literally externally blocked the entire game. He is an annoying character to deal with in ganks, but at the same time, an Orochi doesn't really do enough damage, doesn't have enough crowd control. He has really good feats in force, and that's about it. But as an overall character, I would probably put Orochi maybe, I'd say probably B minus, maybe B plus, something like that, to where he's not bad. He's just a character right now that, because of his rework, he's relevant and he's playable. He's not unbearable enough to play. He's not something that can just god off, like it's not just something that will just keep you from playing this character. Because I know a lot of people stopped playing Orochi because he legit just was too telegraphed. Now, I don't want any biased comments in the comment section below. Most assassin mains always think that I'm always picking on them and stuff, but at the same time, Orochi has always been a thorn in my existence. He's always been a character I just felt like was poorly designed. Even now, I still feel like he's poorly designed. And I don't know if there's any way to fix that, but let me just hear your thoughts. But I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, gang. Thank you all for coming out here today. If you're new here, please like and subscribe. Thank you all for just giving me your ever-loving support. If you have any new people you will want to recommend me to your friends or family, just let me know. Or not let me know, but just let them know and tell them to hit that sub button. But this has been Freezing Geeks, aka NoahC, signing out until tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for coming out here. Peace out. Love you all. Deuces. Also, shout out to the mod gang. You guys are the GOATs.